Welcome to Financial Accounting, Spring 2022. I hope you all had an amazing holiday break. And now we are going to cover the syllabus in detail in this slideshow. This is BizAdd 201, section 0845. This is a 4-unit credit course. There are no prerequisites for this course, but it is recommended that you have satisfactorily completed BizAdd 310, which would be bookkeeping, and English 50, or qualification by the MJC English assessment process. So what is this course description? I'll let you read what you see on the screen on your own, but in general, financial accounting is the language of business. And that is what we are going to learn this semester. My name is Leslie Vaughn. I'm a certified public accountant and a certified management accountant. I go by Leslie. Please don't assume that all of your faculty will appreciate you calling them by first name. Some people do like Professor, Vaughn, or, Mrs. Vaughn, or something else. But I prefer Leslie. But if you have a hard time with that, feel free for Professor Vaughn or Mrs. Vaughn. I do have an office phone. That is the first number we see in our box here, 209-575-6136. I am not on campus this semester. I do live overseas, but I do get the messages that go to my office phone. For those of you that actually have WhatsApp, you can use the call feature and use my US number, the +1 209-241-1559, to reach out to me to either message me or to talk. But that phone number doesn't work in the United States for a standard phone call or for SMS texting. It will only work on WhatsApp. WhatsApp is a free application that you can download on your computer or your phone. But you can always contact me the old-fashioned way as well by leaving me an email. That works great too. So let's go over some class requirements. There are no exceptions for this. If for some reason you do not agree with these or cannot comply with these requirements, I suggest you drop the course now and ask for your money back because, again, there's no exception to these requirements. One is that you have reliable internet access. For the most part, our class is online except for 4 days when we meet in Zoom, and you still need internet to be on Zoom. All of our materials are going to be submitted online. You need to have internet access for your homework, for your SmartBook, for your quizzes, for your tests, all kinds of things like this. So please make sure that you have reliable internet access and that you have excellent connection during tests and quizzes. You also need a functioning webcam. You will need to turn this webcam on during your quizzes and during your tests, no exception. We are using Proctorio this semester, and Proctorio requires your webcam to be on. And in the testing days, when we meet, the 4 times we meet this time in Zoom, this semester, it is all for our test. And you will need your webcams on during this time. No exceptions. Remember when I said that you could contact me the old-fashioned way via email? I certainly have an MJC email. That email is Vaughn, my last name, L, the initial of my first name, at mjc.edu. But my preferred email, the email I read most frequently and most often, is my personal email. It is a Gmail account. It is L, like my first initial, Vaughn, like my last name, 24@gmail.com. When you email me, I teach 5 sections. I have over 200 students. please, 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 in the subject line, or at least somewhere in the body of your email, but preferably in the subject line, please indicate that you are writing me from financial accounting, right, BizAd 201, and what section you're in, 0845. Please put these things in the body of your email or in the subject line. Also, when you email me, or if you decide to WhatsApp me, use your name. Like, tell me who you are, because I can't always guess. If you are writing from your personal account and your personal account is galaxygirl@mindspring.com, I'm pretty sure I don't have a student that's official name is Galaxy Girl. And I'm not going to be able to guess who you are. So please tell me the name that I'm going to be able to find you by in my records so that I can respond accordingly. Also, please allow me some time to respond to your emails. Monday through Friday, 24 to 48 hours, and then on the weekends, likely 48 hours. Contrary to popular belief, we as faculty are not on email 24/7. I have meetings during the day, I have classes during the day, and I set aside a very specific time to read email. I don't just see one pop up and read it. I read them at a certain time. So sometimes there is going to be a delay in my response to you. But if you see that I haven't responded quickly enough, or you think I just didn't see your email, please email me a second time. Please note, we cover a lot of topics in this course. It requires a significant time commitment. I know in some of your other classes, you're thinking it's an online class, it can't take that much time. I'm here to tell you this class is going to take you some time. And not only is it going to take you time, you're going to have to understand the concepts. This is not a strict rote memorization class. I need you to read the chapter. I need you to go in and do smart books in the McGraw-Hill Connect. Now, with smart books, you and your colleague could be sitting side by side, and the time that it takes you to complete this could be vastly different between the two of you, depending on how you answer the questions. If you answer a question incorrectly, it's going to give you another similar question until it thinks that you know the topic before moving forward. Whereas the student who got the question right the first time moves on to the next topic. So it behooves you to have really read the chapter before you start smart books. From smart books, then you can go on to homework. Now be very careful. If you do not complete the smart book assignment within 80% or better before the due date, you will be locked out of homework and draw a 0 on that. We'll talk about that a little bit more. But doing the smart books, which is an assigned part of your grade, and the homework, watching the videos that I have made and put out in Canvas, and then doing some things on your own, such as the reviews, which are in Excel workbooks within Canvas. And then also, most importantly, or very importantly, doing the Are You Ready practice quizzes. I have set this course up that you need to score a 75% or better on the Are You Ready practice quiz for a particular chapter before you can move on to the next module within Canvas. These Are You Ready practice quizzes are quiz questions I've made. I also make your test. So these questions are getting you ready for the test. It is easy to say that you will spend between 12 and 15 hours a week in this course. If you are having trouble in this class, if you start falling behind, reach out to me as soon as possible. Also, we have an accounting lab. It's dedicated for free. You heard that right, free tutoring. I would avail yourself to the lab, to my office hours, if you find that you are starting to have difficulties in this class. The first 4 chapters are the framework for the rest of the course. If we do not understand the first 4 chapters, you will have great difficulty in understanding the rest of the course and likely will not pass. So these first 4 chapters are critically important. Do not wait till the end of the semester to say, oh, but I've studied so hard and I cannot figure out where I went wrong. If you are not doing well early on, I need you to go back and understand why you didn't understand what you didn't understand, because we need all of that moving forward. This is a stepping stone course. You will need what you learned in chapters 1 through 4 through the entire semester. So I know you want to know, well, when are your office hours? I have several office hours. I have these office hours for both financial accounting, this class, and managerial accounting. Those office hours are Monday, and this is not typed in correctly, Monday evening from 9:30 to 10:30 p.m., Tuesdays from 8 to 9 in the morning, Wednesdays from 7 to 9 in the morning, and Thursdays from 8 to 9 in the morning and by appointment. I will say that by appointment generally does not mean anywhere from probably noon till 9 o'clock in the evening usually. Those hours I have dedicated for other things. But overall, I have office hours. I have them 4 days a week and by appointment. And the Zoom link for these office hours are in Canvas in the Zoom link module. So what am I willing to do during office hours? I am willing to go over your quiz with you that you've already turned in. I'm willing to work on the homework with you. The accounting lab does that as well. I am willing to discuss any concerns you have about this class, but also about the accounting profession in general, and maybe helping you plan your schedule for next semester, or maybe you want to talk about other colleges that you're thinking about transferring to. Things like this. All of these things can be discussed within office hours. Now, if you come into Zoom and you see other students there, don't leave. Just jump right in. I will answer questions in a round robin fashion. And if you have a question that you want to discuss privately, we can go to a private chat room and our conversation will be private. And then I'll come back in and I'll answer one question for every student before moving to the next student until hopefully I've answered all students' questions. Please do not assume that just because you are the first student in office hours, if there's others there as well, that I will answer all your questions first. One question per student until I get all the way around the room, and then I start again. So you're wondering, what do we need for this course? We need McGraw-Hill's Financial and Managerial Accounting, author Wild Shaw, 9th edition. Be very careful. This is the first semester we are using the 9th edition. We were using the 8th edition last semester. That book might help you, but you will still need to buy the McGraw-Hill Connect for the 9th edition because all of your homework, all of your tests, and all of your smart books are in the 9th edition only. So where can you get this? If you take the flyer that is out on Canvas, you can get the ebook, right, and have access to everything. Or you could go to our bookstore and you can buy the book and the access to Connect, and you can do it cheaper than what McGraw-Hill is going to sell it to you on this link that is in the Canvas. Now, why would you want a loose leaf book or a physical book? I'll tell you why you might want one. Because for tests and quizzes, I allow you to use your physical notes and your physical book, but I do not allow you to use your online book or any online materials. So therefore, it may behoove you to have a physical book in front of you. So like I said, in addition to the book, be it ebook or physical book, you need this McGraw-Hill Connect Access. So if you buy the book and the access at the bookstore, it comes in a bundle, then you have both. Otherwise, again, you can go on the flyer and that's in Canvas and buy the ebook and the Access Connect all at once online. Now, if we find that the bookstore is short on books or they're back ordered, McGraw-Hill Connect has a 14-day free trial. You could go in, sign up for the 14-day free trial while we wait for the bookstore to get our books or for us to get enough money to buy the book, right? And then use the McGraw-Hill code that you get when you get it from the bookstore. This book will take you through this course and the next course you'll be taking managerial accounting. You will not need to buy another book for managerial accounting as long as you take it at MJC, and you will not need to buy another Connect access code because you get both courses in this fee. So when you do see the astronomical price, as most textbooks are, please, soothe yourself to some extent knowing that this is for 2 semesters. You will need to purchase Proctorio from McGraw-Hill. It's an extra $15. And you will need to also purchase it next semester. You might not need the book again. You might not need to get another McGraw-Hill Connect, access, but you will need Proctorio, and it's $15 this semester. And depending on who your faculty member is in managerial, excuse me, you may or may not need that next semester. Now, in the first week, I have put a bonus quiz in our introduction week that is in McGraw-Hill so that you can test the Proctorio and see how it actually works. You will get 1 bonus point if you get this done by midnight, January 14th. For the course, you will also need pencils, erasers, a simple handheld calculator, and of course, scratch paper. As I mentioned before, the bookstore does have the book loose leaf with a Connect access code bundled together, and this price is usually lower than the cost online through McGraw-Hill. It's important that you get your textbook immediately so that we can be successful in the class. Like I said, if you cannot get the textbook immediately and or you're waiting for it because you've ordered it from Amazon or wherever you might have ordered it from, do not forget that you can go in and get the 14-day free trial so that you can keep up with this Proctorio quiz, that you can keep up with the smart books and the homework that is due in the first few weeks. I will not modify any deadline just because you cannot get the book, okay, or that you haven't gotten the book. We have this access online. I expect you to utilize the resources that are available. So what are our policies and procedures? How is this course going to work? Well, you're expected to submit assignments on a regular schedule throughout the semester. I do not accept late work. So most weeks will follow this pattern. All week, I expect you to read the chapter and watch the videos. Monday at midnight, I expect you to complete your Smart Book assignment that's in McGraw-Hill's Connect. Wednesday by midnight, I expect you to complete the assigned homework that's in McGraw-Hill's Connect. On Thursday by midnight, I expect you to go into Canvas, not McGraw-Hill, but Canvas, to take our chapter quiz. And then before the next chapter, right, before you can get into the next module, I need you to complete the Are You Ready practice quiz for that chapter with a score of 75% or better. These Are You Ready practice quizzes, you can take as many times as you'd like, and a lot of times you'll get some new questions. So this will give you extra practice. The grade book will record your highest score. So if for some reason you take it 4 times and you get a 70, an 80, a 72, and an 64, it's going to record the highest of those even if it wasn't the last attempt. But I would try it several times because you could get new questions, and this will give you great practice for the quizzes and our tests. So what is our grade distribution? Well, we've got Smart Book, McGraw-Hill Smart Book. All of those assignments represent 10% of your grade. Homework represents 14% of your grade. That's also in McGraw-Hill's Connect. We have our quizzes that are in Canvas that represent 16% of our grade. These quizzes are generally 5 multiple choice, fill in the blank, or give me a certain answer type question. You usually have 40 minutes for these quizzes. And then we're going to have 4 tests. Each test is worth 15% of our grade. And of course, this equals 100% of our grade. Grade scale, I use the MGC grade scale. We have A, 90 to 100, B, 80 to 89.99, C, 70 to 79.99, D, 60 to 69.99, and anything below 60% is failing. Generally, in McGraw-Hill, you'll see your score for smart books and homework immediately. Even when some parts of our tests are in McGraw-Hill, you'll see that score immediately. What you won't see is that your grade in Canvas in the gradebook will update immediately. Typically, I review all assignments to make sure there's no irregularities before I roll those grades over into Canvas. I generally do this once a week, and I generally do it on the weekends. So even though we've spoken about this before, I want to reiterate. You need to take the Are You Ready practice quizzes. They're required to be taken. You are required to get a 75% or more before it will let you see the next module. Now, our tests are in modules as well. So if you have not done the Are You Ready for the chapter right before the test, it will not let you in the test, and neither will I. These are prerequisites, but the Are You Ready practice quizzes count 0% of your grade. This is just to get you ready for our quizzes and our tests. So, Smart Book assignments. These Smart Book assignments are in McGraw-Hill, and they account for 10% of your total grade. And they are due by midnight on Mondays. We discussed earlier that your understanding of the chapter will dictate how much time it takes for you to complete these Smart Book assignments. So it behooves you to have read the chapter and watch the video before you start the Smart Book assignment. Note that Smart Book assignments are a prerequisite to our homework, and if you do not complete the Smart Book assignment with an 80% or better, it will not allow you to go into the homework, and in your homework you will draw a 0 for that particular chapter. So make sure by Monday midnight that you have the Smart Book assignment done. Now, as far as Smart Book assignments go, they are all open. You can go in right now and do them all for the entire course if you would like at this point. So you should not have to wait each chapter to do them. If you want to do them all right now, that's perfectly fine. You can start them at any time. You just can't do them after the due date. Once you have the Smart Book assignment done, then your homework assignment can open up. Homework accounts for 14% of your grade. They are generally due on Wednesdays at midnight. It's in your best interest to understand how this works because some of our tests are also done in McGraw-Hill, so some of our tests will be set up very similarly to our homework. Your homework is set up where you have unlimited attempts. So as long as it's not past the due date, you can go in and redo your homework and or complete your homework or fix your homework. Now, since you can go in a million times, there's no reason why you should not have 100% grade in your homework. If you're struggling over a question, you can always email me. You can always go to the accounting lab. Since our tests are in, some of them are, parts of them are in McGraw-Hill, you'll see that some of our test questions are structured very much like the homework. So all your Smart Book and homework assignments are fair game for our test material. Note that some chapters have more questions, homework questions, than others. but each chapter's homework weighs the same. Quizzes. So our quizzes are a little different than our smart book and our homework. Your smart book and your homework, you could go and do all of them for the entire semester this week if you so chose. But quizzes must be taken on the day for which they are due. These quizzes count for 16% of our grade, and they are due by midnight on Thursdays. They open up in Canvas, not McGraw-Hill. They open up on Canvas at 5 a.m. and they end at midnight. These quizzes are generally 5-question quizzes. They could be multiple choice, fill in the blank, drop down boxes, and generally you have 40 minutes to complete the quiz. You will be required to use your webcam. Okay. Proctorio is being used while you take your quiz. There is a Canvas Proctorio quiz. You can take as many times as you would like in our weekly introduction, the first introduction module of Canvas. And I would highly recommend that you go in and take that quiz before your real quiz every week to make sure that your computer is set up and configured properly. If you get into the quiz and it asks you for an access code, it means your computer is not set up correctly. And you will stress and lose time worried about this because you will not be able to get into the quiz. Once you have tried out this practice quiz that's in the introduction module, if nothing changes, if your computer doesn't update or anything like that, you're not using a different laptop, you should be able to access every quiz easily. But again, if it's asking you for an access code right off the bat, it means that your computer is not configured correctly, and I need you to get that done. I'm not going to be much help with this. You need to talk with IT, and MJC has IT help that you can get at any time. So, quizzes. You can only take them on Thursdays. They open up at 5 a.m. They end by midnight. 40 minutes, 5 questions. We're going to find them in Canvas. They count 16% of our grade. And please read my lips. Okay, I know you can't see my lips, but there are no makeups for quizzes, just like I do not accept smart books and homework late either. There are no makeups for quizzes. Now, I realize that when I say no makeups for quizzes and no late work for homework and smart books, you start to panic. But I realize that we all have lives. There's sometimes we just cannot get to some of our assignments. I understand that. To this end, I do drop 1 smart book, 1 homework, and 1 quiz this semester. So if you miss one, you have a rough week and it just doesn't get done, it's not going to affect your grade once, because I will drop those. But I wouldn't make a habit of it. So keep in mind that you can always do the smart books and the homework early. The one thing, well, really 2 things that we can't do ahead of time are our quizzes, which are on Thursdays, and our tests, which we're going to find out there are 4 of them this semester that are due on Wednesdays. So let's talk about our tests. We have 4 of them this semester. In general, just given this material, all the tests are cumulative to some extent, but I focus on the most recent chapters. Because if we learn how to make a journal entry in Chapter 2, never doubt that you're going to have to make journal entries all semester. Right? You need to understand what a debit and a credit are, or what goes on an income statement. Just because you learn it for Chapter 1 doesn't mean that you won't use this knowledge going forward throughout the rest of the semester. Our tests count 60% of our grade. We have 4 of them. Each test is worth 15%. They must be taken on the day they are due. Not only that, we don't meet in a formal Zoom classroom, but we will for tests. So 4 days this semester, we will meet in Zoom. You will have your webcam on, and we'll take our tests. So here are the days that I need us to be in our Zoom classroom. Oh, and by the way, our Zoom tests are from 7:20 in the morning till 9:25 in the morning. They are Wednesday, February 16th, Wednesday, March 9th, Wednesday, April 6th, and then our last test is Wednesday, April 27th. Now, when you signed up for the class, it told you would be in Zoom for four days. But the first day that it told you was not February 16th. It does say March 9th, April 6th, and April 27th. But I needed to switch our first test and make it 1 week later. So please change and mark your calendars to note that our first test and our first Zoom meeting is Wednesday, February 16th. As mentioned earlier, we will meet in Zoom for our tests. The link is in our Canvas module under Zoom links. And our test times are from 7:20 in the morning to 9:25 in the morning. Our test will be in parts. So it might be that our test has 2 parts, 3 parts. Sometimes the parts are in McGraw-Hill. Sometimes the parts are in Canvas. Before the test, I will certainly let you know how many parts there are, how many questions, what percentage of each chapter represents the points on our tests. And this will be communicated through announcements and emails. You must have a functioning webcam during Zoom, during our test days, no exceptions. There are no makeups for tests unless you have a university-sanctioned excuse, and you will need to reach out to me at least 48 hours in advance to let me know that you need a makeup test and give me the documentation for which qualifies for a makeup test. Please note that you are only allowed 1 makeup test per semester. You may use the same notes and the same materials that you are allowed to use for quizzes. You are welcome to use those for tests as well. Right? So you can use all the physical things that you want, maybe your physical textbook, your notes, anything you've printed offline, from online, but you cannot use your online materials or another person. So you might be asking, well, what should I be studying for the test? Our tests are derived from the things that I have gone over in the videos, what your textbook has to say, your homework, the reviews that I've put online in Excel, and then certainly our Are You Ready practice quizzes. Hence, this is why you are required to do those before each new module and earn a 75% or better to move forward. This also is true for the test. You must have completed the Are You Ready for the last chapter before the test with a 75% or better, or it will not let you into the test module. Whereas I drop 1 quiz, 1 smart book, and 1 homework, I do not drop any tests throughout the semester. So show me your best work. Now, like I said before, this class requires a tremendous amount of time. Right? I need us to stay up to date on our material because, as I said, it's a building block course. Right? You need the material you learned in Chapter 2 to complete Chapter 8, per se. It's really easy to fall behind, and it's really hard to catch up if you get way behind. So please, please, please stay on top of everything. Keep up with the class. If you are still on my grade book at 5 o'clock in the afternoon on April 4th, I am required to issue you a letter grade. Up until April 4th at 5 o'clock, you can drop this class at any time through your self-service menu in Canvas. But if you are still on my roll after that point, I have to give you a letter grade. Now, I also want to say that if I see that you are not keeping up with the work and that you've missed multiple assignments, I myself will go in and drop you from this class, generally speaking. But don't count on that. I need you to drop the course if you see you're not going to go forward with it. But I too will call the class if I see that you are not participating. And by participation, you haven't done quizzes, you haven't submitted homework, I've not heard from you in weeks. Well, then I will likely go in and remove you from this class. But don't count on me to do that. I need you to be progressive enough and self-aware enough that if you are not going to finish the course, that you yourself drop it. And why do I say that? Because if I have to give you an F, your GPA is going to fall. Your chances of moving on and continuing on at your four-year institution, if that's where you're going from here, gets a lot harder when you have an F in your GPA weighing your GPA down. It's just much easier to drop the class and not have your GPA affected by having not dropped. So in McGraw-Hill, I need you to also sign up for Proctorio. This is a $15 one-time fee. You pay the fee the first quiz you take that's Proctorio enabled. So what is Proctorio? Well, it's a proctoring system. We're going to use it with our quizzes with the Proctorio that is in Canvas and already paid for with your fees. And then we're going to use it in Connect on test days. This is where you have to pay the $15 fee within McGraw-Hill. What does Proctorio do? It locks down your keyboard. It will control import and export. It's not going to let you print. It's going to disable your right clicks. It's going to record you while you're taking the quiz. And it's going to require that you sign an integrity agreement. Now, I'm not going to go look at the recording. I have 200 and something students. And if you take 2 hours to take the test or whatever, I don't have that much time to go back. Besides, I'm in the Zoom classroom with you while you're taking your test. But nevertheless, it will flag irregularities. And that is likely the only time that I would go in and watch these videos. Once the semester is over, according to McGraw-Hill and Canvas, due to student privacy, these videos aren't kept. But please note, you must have your webcam on for quizzes and tests. You are being recorded. I am not going to watch the majority of the recordings until Proctorio says, Susie did this. You should, Susie, you should go see her quiz. And in that case, I might speed through one of the videos. But overall, I do not watch these very often, and only when I've been given reason to do so. But you do need Proctorio. It is a $15 fee within McGraw-Hill. The Proctorio that MJC uses in Canvas, that is free to you. You've already paid for it with your student fees. So some notes regarding technology. If you're having trouble accessing Canvas, I would reach out to our help desk at MJC. And I've noted that address where you can reach out to them and the phone number here as well. They have help desk hours during regular hours at MJC, but they also have a nights and weekend helpline as well. Notice the numbers and, of course, a web page. I will be writing you frequently through your college email account. Please check your email from time to time, and if you don't want to use this email, have your email forwarded to a personal and preferred email address. So what happens sometimes when some of the files, when you pull them down, look very jumbled, especially PowerPoint and sometimes Excel, especially Excel. Do not access these without downloading them because they come off jumbled. I need you to download the file from Canvas and then open it up. It'll save yourself a lot of grief. Once it downloads, it's going to ask you a lot of times in a yellow box on the top to enable editing. Would you like to enable editing? And your answer is yes, I would. And once you do that, the file starts to look pretty normal. Occasionally, in PowerPoint, it still won't look right. The words will be all jumbled or very big. And what that usually means is that whatever font I used in the PowerPoint is a font that you do not have access to on your computer. Reach out to me and hopefully I have a font file that I can upload to you. But 99% of the problem is that you're just trying to access it without downloading it from Canvas. So download it and then open it up from there. Occasionally, we are going to have some discussion boards. Not a lot of them, but we have one in the first week where I want us to introduce ourselves. But we'll have another discussion, one or two throughout the semester. Please use internet etiquette, or netiquette for short. Please be polite, don't be rude, so on and so forth. But if for any reason you feel like there's a discussion or a post that concerns you, please do reach out to me, and certainly we'll take care of it and look into it. A lot of students use the gradebook feature of Canvas. Note that when you are in McGraw-Hill's Connect and you get a grade for SmartBook and you get a grade for homework, it does not automatically roll over into Canvas. I have set it up this way. It could. I could do that, but I don't. I like to go in, pull those grades, and bring them in. I usually do that over the weekend. And then your grade is updated. But just so we know, the grades that you see in Canvas Gradebook are not to be interpreted as your final grade. Everybody makes mistakes. I make them every day. And so my gradebook is not online, even though I'm uploading the grades into your gradebook. My gradebook is the final say in your final grade. But like I said, discrepancies and mistakes can be made. So please let me know if you think there is an issue with the grades that I have posted up to Canvas, and let me know. And do that as soon as possible when you see there's some discrepancy. Sometimes it just happens that I have filed the grades in wrong into Canvas, and so everybody's has gotten miscued by one student. Maybe a student has changed their name through the semester and now it sorts incorrectly within my grade book. So please do let me know, but please also note that my personal grade book is where your grades get recorded and reported to MJC. I put those grades up into Canvas as a courtesy so that you can see your grade throughout the semester, but from time to time, mistakes can be made. And if you find one, please do let me know. As you know, most courses, if not all, have student learning outcomes. In essence, what are they for this course? Well, we should be able to analyze, record accounting transactions, and complete the full accounting cycle. This will happen in chapters 1 through 3. Analyze financial information to evaluate the financial health of a business. This will happen all semester throughout all the chapters. And then we need to be able to analyze and interpret ethical issues within financial accounting and identify issues, formulate strategies to address this. Ethics are very important within accounting. So how am I going to assess these student learning outcomes? Well, through quizzes and tests. So some advice, some fine print resources. If you have an accommodation that I need to make for disability, you need to let me know. right off the bat this semester, I would like your paperwork from DSPS. With that, I can work with you so that we can design some solution that will help you be successful in this class. But I am required to have the appropriate paperwork from DSPS. So if you don't have this yet, please do reach out to DSPS. Contact a counselor. The number there is 575-6225. Or you can go over to the Student Services Building, room 112. And I've listed their website as well. But please note, I cannot accommodate your disability until you provide me with the appropriate paperwork. The other thing that I request is that you give me notice. You let me know that you need an accommodation every time you need it. So you would think that sending me the paperwork would be enough. But again, I have so many students that sometimes I forget. So I need at least 48 hours notice every time you would like to have your accommodation. Please just send me an email, give me the heads up. Hey, I need X. And I will certainly work with you to make sure that we get that taken care of. So what about plagiarism, academic honesty? I hate cheaters. I hate cheating. And I have found that through online learning, there seems to be a lot of cheating. If I find that you're cheating, I will give you a 0 on the assignment. I will also submit this academic dishonesty to the appropriate places on campus. I need you to understand that cheating is not acceptable and that I will make every effort to have you removed from my class and have sanctions against you regarding cheating. Please do not cheat. You are expected to have read and understood your student rights and responsibilities. And the website is listed here. You can click on this link. And I realize that this is a video, so no, you can't click on the link. But this is peeled directly out of our syllabus. Please download the syllabus from online and Canvas, and you'll be able to click the hyperlink here. So is this class overwhelming? It can be. Financial accounting is not the easiest class that you will take. I understand this. It can be very difficult. But if you are feeling lost in this class, speak up. Send me an email. Chances are you're not the only one having the same concern. Post a question or a discussion forum to your peers in the discussion box and see if they can help you in any way as well. But speak up. Spend some extra time looking at the spectacular videos again. I have indexed those so that if you want just a certain topic, when you go into the video and you say, oh, I just need to know about how to calculate bad debt using the balance sheet method, well, it's indexed. And so you can go directly to that part of the video if you're having just trouble with individual topics. But I would still go and rely on those videos. I would certainly, well, you're required, right? But certainly do the brain teasers that are online. Those are very helpful. The brain teasers are PowerPoint slideshows. They are not voiced over so that you can go at your own pace. I have them set out there in each chapter with and without answers. So the ones without answers just have the questions. The ones with answers have the questions and the answers that go with them. When you take a quiz, go back and see why you got something wrong. I do put the explanations and the calculations out there when I release the quiz results, which don't get released until after the due date for the quiz. And then certainly the Are You Readies. Do them. This is how I structure my quizzes and tests, and they are great practice. Remember, these Are You Ready quizzes are only 10 questions, but the pool of questions from which it can pull are more than 10. So if you take this quiz again, then, and it is a practice quiz, right? But if you take it again, there's a chance you'll get some different questions and get some more practice. Note that Canvas keeps your highest grade. So even if your highest grade is the second or third time you've taken the quiz, right, and then you do some new questions and you don't score as well, Canvas will record the highest score. Also, you can always come see me in office hours. That's excellent. And then there's also, don't forget, the free accounting lab. I've posted the hours online. Todd and others work within the accounting lab, and they are a great resource. And they are free. Notice, again, I have a hyperlink here that you can't touch in this video, I realize. But if you go to the syllabus that is posted online and download it, then you would be able to tap this hyperlink to get to the accounting lab. There's also a hyperlink within Canvas under the modules that says accounting lab. And if you go in there, you can also go directly into the accounting lab. Is this accounting lab open 24/7? No. It has hours. They're daytime hours. But the hours are posted within Canvas and in our syllabus. And you can also go live on East Campus to the library to the accounting lab if you would like to work with somebody face-to-face, assuming that campus is allowing students on. During COVID, and as things change, that could change. So what other resources might you use? Well, there's the accounting lab, I reiterate. There is also, if you look on the left side of the menu within Canvas, something called Net Tutor. This is not an MJC. This is outside of MJC, but MJC pays for this. You've already paid for the use of Net Tutor, which is free to you through your student fees. Now, it is not like there's somebody live there. You must usually go in and make an appointment, but then you get free tutoring, usually one-on-one, with somebody who can help you in accounting. So don't wait till the last minute. I doubt there's last minute appointments, but you should be able to schedule an appointment and then head over there if you would like. But the accounting lab is a free-for-all, right? You jump in, there's somebody, Todd, usually somebody there all the times that the lab hours are open. And then you should also know who your student success specialist is, and they can also help you, maybe not in accounting, but they can help you also possibly find a tutor or other resources for you. And so I show the link here, which is in our syllabus, and you might want to reach out to your student success specialist as well. So besides being overwhelmed in this class, you might actually be overwhelmed in general and in life. This happens to the best of us. We offered MJC free mental health support 24/7. It's called Pirates Care, and you can safely and accurately discuss with somebody and be treated, I use that term loosely, but talk to somebody online. All you need is an internet connection. And so the current link, which could be updated from time to time, is shown here. You will need to give them some personal information, such as your name. You do need to be enrolled at MJC, but if you're in my class, you're already enrolled. And then use this link. Please use this link. It is free, and it can be very, very, very helpful. Again, this link is live on the syllabus, so please download the syllabus if you need this link. So, frequently asked questions. You go out and you look at your Canvas gradebook and you think there's something wrong or inaccurate. Let me know. You think that you took a quiz and maybe I have one of the questions answered incorrectly within the quiz. Happens all the time. Could be. If you think there's something with your grade, right, either through a quiz or the way I've uploaded them or something else, maybe there's an inaccuracy in one of the videos or something, send me an email. Just send me an email. It does not have to be this formally typed out like I've placed here. But send me an email as soon as possible or reach out to me as soon as possible so that I can look into it. I will say that if it comes down to a discrepancy or a dispute between your final grade, in that case, I would neatly type a professional request to me. And this is more of a CYA for you. You write me and say, I disagree about my final grade in the class or something to this effect, and I will write you back in email. The reason you want this is because if we cannot come to an agreement, right, then your next line of defense is to go to the dean. And the first thing the dean is going to ask you, her name is Dr. Nancy Sill. First thing she's going to say is, well, did you speak with Professor Vaughn about this? And if you say no, she's going to send you back to me. But if you say, oh yeah, we had a conversation and here's the written details, then she will entertain your conversation, right? And be willing to work with you. But she needs to know that we have discussed this as well. You do need to go through the chain of command. And by having this written, then you have no issues, right? If you email me, I will respond in email, and you will, or if you want to meet in Zoom, we can record it, and then you can take that recording with you. But she needs to know that we have tried to come to an agreement, and we have failed, and therefore then she intervenes. But please do email me. I don't read minds, so if you think there's something wrong, there's a chance something is wrong. Please let me know, and I'll look into it. You have a suggestion to make this class better? Please let me know. Please let me know. Shoot me a video, shoot me a text, shoot me an email, and let me know how I can make this class better. I prefer and look forward to your feedback. Now this week we have a syllabus quiz. It is in Canvas. We have now gone over the syllabus, but one of the things that it is it's actually not Proctorio enabled, because I need you to have some time to practice with Proctorio first, but it is password enabled. So what is the password? Norway, no space, 2022. Notice that the N in Norway is capitalized. You will need to also capitalize the N in Norway 2022 when you submit it into Canvas to enter the quiz. So why is that the password? Currently, I am living in Norway. I will probably be moving by the end of the month, but currently in the country of Norway. So this is also why sometimes our communication is skewed a little by time. Norway is 9 hours ahead of Pacific Standard Time. So that said, I am looking forward to an amazing semester. Reach out to me if you need anything, but this is going to be a rocket ride. And I love accounting. Financial accounting is the language of business. And from here, you will take managerial accounting next, which is my favorite flavor of accounting, because there's actually a lot of flavors of accounting, such as taxes, audit, financial accounting, managerial accounting, not-for-profit accounting, forensic accounting. Anybody that's seen The Accountant, the movie, and it's an excellent movie. That flavor of accounting, right, is forensic accounting. So there's lots of flavors of accounting, but this is usually the first flavor we start off with before we go into those other flavors. And I am looking forward to our semester. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or concerns.